this footnote is about how scary it is to step outside of those codes of masculine and the feminine as they are presented to us, because even though I do present to the world now as quite feminine and wear feminine attire, and I've been a runway model for women's wear brands, I can remember a time when I would be too scared to hold my wife's handbag whilst she went to the bathroom in a public place. So, and the first time that I bought a pair of tights marketed as women's tights, and how terrifying that was to explain to the salesperson that I was buying these tights, and I even told them that, no, they're for my wife, and these things are so deeply ingrained, and we have such strong culturally held beliefs, and it's really scary to step outside them, and especially I think maybe for people who have been assigned male but are now presenting as feminine, because of the violence with which those gender boundaries are sometimes enforced by some men.
Yeah, I have a bit of experience, I guess, the other direction of I'm one of those trans men who actually presented incredibly feminine before coming out. I think because I was afraid of the way butch women are treated. Even though all women are fairly vulnerable to violence by the community, it was more like sexual harassment and sexual violence as a feminine woman, but as a butch woman, when I did start presenting masculine, it was more the violence, like the fear of being beaten. But I guess you might have, it's about being visibly queer as well, and how it threatens people that we're breaking the boundaries of what is allowed. How dare you be out in the world, walking around looking different and being different to gender norms. Like, the children will see you, and what will that do to them? It will damage them forever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess it's a little less to do with which gender you're presenting as, more so as us presenting queer and people being threatened by our queerness because we're very, very dangerous,
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to, like, any specific experiences?
Look, for people who've not met me in person, like, I'm 6 foot tall, and for most of my life, I've weighed around 100 kilos or more, and just presenting as masculine, I never worried about my personal safety. Like, I literally could go anywhere, walk anywhere, dodgy parts of town, late at night. I literally never thought about it. And so for me, the contrast in that respect, like, we're talking about violence, just now, always having that thing at the back of my mind, the same way that women do. That group of guys coming towards me, are they just minding their own business, or are they going to say something, or is it going to be something worse?
That constant vigilance.
Yeah.
There's also more research coming out about what that does to your overall health, having to be on constant fight or flight, watching your back. And that's another privilege with being a passing trans person, in that I didn't spend too much time in that danger zone.
Yeah.
I got to a point now where I can fairly safely walk around, as long as I'm not wearing too much flamboyant clothing, whatnot. People don't even... As a man, they see you but don't notice you. As a woman, they didn't see me, but they noticed me. It was only as an object that any attention was brought to me.
Yeah.
Whereas as a man, they recognize me as a human, but don't pay too much attention.
Yeah.
And it's a very odd experience to experience both sides of that.
Yeah, I know. It's odd being, you know, I guess the physical size I am, and I've actually experienced invisibility as well. So not only that kind of threat, but also in, you know, waiting to be served at a bar or something, and I've experienced a strange kind of invisibility that I've found really, really weird and new.
And that odd experience too of, as a male, your assertiveness is taken as a positive trait. So at that bar, when you go, hey, no, I was next, they go, oh, of course, mate, sorry about that. As a woman or a queer person being assertive, it's seen as aggressive, and particularly as a trans woman, that aggression is aggression. Sorry. Your assertiveness in any way, even if it's just to get your most basic rights seen to, is seen as a not only a negative but a danger to society. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And until that is fixed in our society, I'm going to be so angry. Not angry, but not satisfied.
Yeah. And it will continue to be scary to step out of those traditional gender lines.
It brings me back to my pet peeve of trans women in sports stuff, which, while studying sports and exercise, it's going to continue to be a constant nagging in the back of my mind that I need some action. I need to take some action, and I need to put my foot down. So I've been nagging at my university that it's as people that are in that space, that they have a responsibility to actually be evidence-based and to not allow a one-sided conversation to dominate.
Yeah.
That's our job as academics, to make sure that it's a balanced and accurate conversation.
Yeah.
I could go on that subject forever, so we need to put a stop to that.
Okay. Yes, Mika, and you have my continued support on that mission.
Thank you.